What's going on?
Oh, welcome to my blood and my coffee.
Yes, sir. We are live. We are
I'm
live.
only doing this about 6 hours late.
Let me send this to Robbie. Actually, it's our first episode on a Sunday.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, we're just trying to get the thoughts in a little fresher this time. Just so after watching all the fights, just want to see where you're at, what you were thinking last night. How are you enjoying your evening?
It was good, man.
What'd
I
you do?
caught the highlights you sent me. Man, Showtime does a terrible job compared to DAZN for their highlights.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It was pretty rough, but yeah, man, it was a good set of fights. You want to go the boxing direction or the UFC
Well, you
direction?
can go ahead. Let's go ahead and start with the UFC because that seems to be
Okay,
the bigger topic.
man, some good battles, man. Um, it was a fun night of fights. Uh, hey, Robbie. No, man, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was I watched the entire thing. I mean, even the early prelims.
Hmm.
Uh, shoot, it was like 15 fights, but um, it
15 fights, dog. That had to be. Yeah, you probably caught like a lot of them. But
yeah,
yeah,
at six. So I think it was two early, and then
you started
five,
at 6.
12. I think it was like 12 actually.
Damn.
It was a lot of fights, man.
Yeah. The
Multiple
card
times.
was good.
It was a good card, man.
Mhm.
Are you able to pull up the card?
Let me pull it up.
That way we can dissect it.
Yeah, let me see.
I'll recap kind of what happened.
Yes, sir. Let me just pull it up.
Couple upsets.
Ooh, Junior Toast. Yeah, I see that. O'Malley, no O'Malley, huh? Got knocked out.
No, he
Let me
didn't get
see.
knocked out.
Preliminary cards.
Yeah, go ahead and pull up that main
Um,
card and screen
when
cap
did
it.
you? So did you start watching it? Let's see. I'm seeing like some women's strawweight fights. A lightweight, Jim Miller, Vince Pichel. Uh,
Yeah, Tell from Hell. Yeah,
huh. You saw that one?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that one was kind of. It looks like it went to a decision, 3-rounder.
yeah. That was
Um, bit of a snoozer.
a pretty good fight. No, it was a good fight. It
Okay.
was it was a good little rumble match between Miller and Pichel.
Good,
Uh,
good some good to open up the card.
Miller's got the record for the most consecutive starts in UFC now, over past Cerrone.
Okay.
So that was pretty interesting. He's a submission specialist. Dude's only like 36 too. It's kind of insane. Um, but yeah, so that Pichel and Miller was the very last one on the prelim.
Uh huh.
I think the very first fight on the actual card itself.
John Dodson and Merab
Yeah,
Dvalishvili.
yeah, that was I believe that one went to decision, right?
Yep, looks like it did. Yep.
Yeah. So that one, Dodson was up against the cage a lot from the clinch. Who did he fight? Was it?
Devili Devalishvili.
Yeah, however you pronounce his name. He
Yeah.
tagged him with some good knees, man. I've never seen a fighter take so many knees to the back of the leg like he did, but there were some power shots.
Nice.
Dotson was telling his corner that he was just getting hugged, which was
Mhm.
not true, man. He took some power shots from the guy's knee, peppered his leg up, and
Yeah.
you can definitely tell his mobility was a little bit affected by that fight.
Hmm.
So that was a pretty good start. A little bit slow, a little bit of a slower pace, and then I believe after that one was the um,
Herbert Burns and
yeah.
Daniel Pineda.
Yeah, so that one, Pineda got him on the ground, which is Burns is very familiar with. Gilbert Burns is actually his older brother, who was supposed to fight Usman.
Right.
All stepped in. Burns came in 3 pounds overweight. Had to give up 20% of his purse that went to Daniel Pineda, and Pineda got the win because
Yeah.
Burns was basically fucked in the crucifix position. Um, got him with some nasty blows from up top from Pinata, man. It was a good fight. you could definitely see he was landing some good shots. And when you're in that crucifix position too, there's no transition really available for you. So even though the shots might not look that big, they're right on target. And especially with Pinata's accuracy, he just peppered him up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Burns was done. That was that one was a TKO, right? What's it say?
Yeah, it looks like it was
TKO.
TKO second round.
Yeah, they had to stop it, man.
Wow, that fast, huh? It looks like it was pretty early in the second round too.
Burns could not transition. Burns was looking okay in the first round, but yeah, the second round just he could not transition out of it. He was stuck in that position. So that
Yeah.
was the few fights that kind of kick-started it. I know a lot of people probably were looking at the main three, which is what I was looking at. That's the ones I really, really paid attention to.
Yep.
JDS and Rosenstruck. Sorry, now I always say Rosenstruck, but
Rick.
that one hurt, man. That one hurt to watch. I'm a gigantic JDS fan, and
I told you, man. I told you they were just feeding them. They were feeding them to this new guy.
yeah, JDS is, I know the heavyweight. We'll get to it. The heavyweight greatest of all time for UFC has already pretty much been decided, but JDS is up there, man. I mean, he beat Velasquez. He's beat some tough opponents. Fabricio Werdum. So that was kind of heartbreaking, man. You see the same habits that he did in this fight that he did against, I believe, Alistair Overeem, where he gives his back. Not good. He always gives his back up when he's going to get toe-to-toe with somebody. And that one was a stoppage. You got to watch the replay if you haven't. He had him up against the fence, dropped him. JDS was getting back up to his feet. Thought they might stop it at that point, but JDS got up for a second, and then he just dropped him again. It was done. He was caught up against the cage, taking just unanswered blows from Rosenstruck. It was pretty intense. So now
Too old, you think? He's just too much damage, too old. What do you think? What do you think went wrong in there?
For JDS?
Yeah, for JDS.
I think he just I don't know if it's he's too old. I mean, he was looking good up until the final kind of seconds. He has a knack for giving up his back.
Okay.
Not only that, but he doesn't know how to. I don't think he really knows what to do when somebody's pushing the action like Rosenstruck was, man. So it was pretty difficult for him to really find any answers. And Rosenstruck's got cannons for hands. I mean, just bombs. So when I was watching the fight, I knew just one of those, if it clipped JDS, kind of like what Overeem did, if it clipped him in the wrong way, it was out. And, power to JDS for trying to get back up and try to keep it a fight, but Rosenstruck just put him right back down against the cage.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that was a good stoppage for sure. So that one kicked off, and then another heartbreaker for me was the Sugar Sean O'Malley and Marlon Vera fight, man.
O'Malley's that kid with the rainbow hair.
Yeah, so he dyes his hair depending on whatever fighter's country is.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little bit of a showboat, thing. Came in, I think he was 11-0.
Yeah.
So number 14 ranked bantamweight, came in, and there was some speculation early on that they had actually kind of glanced over it. The commentators did. They were talking about their reach compared to Stipe Miocic, but you see in the replay that O'Malley, originally I thought when he had turned his ankle like he did, you can see he kind of slips his ankle and his ankle kind of flattens out a little bit, almost like you rolled it or sprained it.
Mm-hmm.
But no, what I think happened was O'Malley went for one of his kicks, and Vera checked it on his shin, and it probably just fractured his foot. He had a similar injury a couple years ago. I can't remember his opponent's name, but he ended up winning the fight. O'Malley did, but completely screwed up his foot. Either fractured or complete break on his foot, and he had to fight off his foot for the rest of the fight.
Uh-huh.
And somebody that's so dependent on their legs, especially since he's got such a slender, tall frame.
Yeah.
You see that a lot too, though. With you'll see these UFC fighters that have these frames built like that, and they depend on their legs for kicks, but there's no muscle behind their legs. So he's got kind of a glassy frame. So when it gets checked, I mean, you see it with Silva, with Chris Weidman. When it gets checked like that, it's over. It's game over. And so O'Malley went for the kick. Trying to think the exact. So his leg got kicked, or his kick got checked.
Yeah.
And he went. I can't remember. I think he just fell off balance because he couldn't put any weight on his leg, but he went to the ground. There's about 20 seconds left at this point in the first round, and Vera just got this nasty elbow in when he was on the ground. It was like a shooting elbow right over the top of him. It looked like O'Malley was out for a couple seconds.
Wow.
Flashed in and out of consciousness. And then they stepped in and stopped it. I kind of thought it was going to go to the second round, but I'll be the first to admit I was really disappointed with the stoppage being early. But now that I really look at his injury and the actual shot from the elbow, when I do a angle by angle replay of it, yeah, it was a good stoppage.
It looks like it either went 2 minutes or it was stopped with 2 minutes left until the next round. So I don't know. I'm not quite sure. I didn't see that. That I only saw the main event on UFC. But yeah, did it go 2 minutes or did it go like 3 minutes? And not that it matters. I guess it was the first round.
They're 3-minute rounds.
Right. Oh no, they're three 5-minute rounds.
Okay, you're right. What's it say on the fight time?
I think it says round 1, 202. That fight must have. Oh no, that was his last fight. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. That was versus Jose Quinones. I don't know how you say his name, but O'Malley. It looks like it was 4 minutes 40 seconds. So yeah, you about 20 seconds left to the next round.
So I mean, he was close, but what's going to happen is you could see him recovering, can't put any weight on his leg, just crying. Whether it's from his unbeaten streak getting broken or whether it's just he's out of pain, it's probably a mixture of both.
Probably both.
Anguish, So it was definitely a good stoppage.
Mm-hmm.
But now we can talk about the one that you had caught.
The big. It's How do you feel?
I have mixed feelings about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Stipe was legitimate. I think Cormier was legitimate. I think it was a good fight. I think the eye poke really, really, really.
Dude, that was one of the worst eye pokes I've ever seen.
Well, not only was it one of the worst eye pokes, but Cormier unfairly got any time. It happened like 6 seconds and going into the second or third round.
It was a second. Yeah, it was the second round. He got. Yeah. I think it was going into. So he got poked, and then. No, I don't recall. I remember him getting hurt in the second round.
He had already almost gotten, because at the end of the second round he was against the cage and almost got
hurt.
He almost got knocked out, or he almost
he was hurt for sure.
Yeah, he was done. But that eye poke was vicious, and the fact that the ref called it a blatant punch.
Yeah.
I mean, Cormier, even in his corner, he's like, "Oh, his knuckle got me." He thought it was a punch too. No, that was a straight up eye gouge. In fact, Cormier is apparently torn. So
Jesus.
He's in a lot of pain. I mean, if you saw the post fight,
he literally couldn't see out of his fucking eye.
Not at all. I mean, he said it was all black. When you start dealing with eye injuries like that, that's some stuff that can linger for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But I mean, taken out of the equation, Cormier didn't really shoot for any wrestling opportunities. The first round, he got the takedown, which is his specialty. But Stipe got up, banged with him. Stipe controlled the action. Definitely could get a lot better cardio going in.
He was really lean, man. He was lean in the fight.
Cormier is a quick fighter for heavyweight, but Stipe was even quicker. I mean, you could just tell every time Cormier tried to get in, Stipe would keep him on the outside. The thing I also didn't really see out of Cormier a lot is he didn't really go for a dominant clinch work. Stipe got him against the fence quite a number of times and shut that out. If you remember the first fight when they first met, Cormier tagged him with a hook out of the clinch, and that's what they did. So
yeah, it was right out of the clinch. It was something like, I don't know if it was, I think it was like a really short like right hook or something. He got him right out of the clinch, and it knocked him out.
Yeah, I mean, because he hides his right hand. I mean, that's what he's done. It's his specialty. So him being shut down and neutralized completely in that aspect was a little disheartening, you know. But Stipe was the better fighter. I mean, he came in prepared. Cormier looked a little bit nervous going in. I thought the first round was good work for Cormier. Going into the second round, I was kind of picking him as the lead in the fight. But yeah, I mean, once Stipe hurt him, it was over. And that eye gouge made it even worse. But the eye gouge neutralized Cormier a lot, and I think it kind of sucks, you know, when you see that. I mean, especially when the heavyweight gold's on the line.
Right.
But it shouldn't shadow Stipe's accomplishment and achievement in the fight. Stipe looked great, you know.
I mean, you don't go into a fight like expecting like, oh, I mean, maybe you do, but I doubt Stipe went into this fight thinking I'm gonna poke this dude's eye so that I win.
Right.
Like, you know,
and Cormier had poked his eye too in the fight.
Yeah, and right.
You know, so it's just, I mean, that's what they do when you're heavyweights and you're trying to use your reach advantage, and you're trying to keep, you know, you're trying to paw. John Jones does it all the time. Called out for it all the time too.
He's poked so many people's eyes, dude.
Ridiculous. But they just paw at the eye, you know, and maybe they even need to look at a different kind of glove mechanic for that.
Yeah.
For having their finger. I don't know how you do it. I mean, without going the boxing glove route, but being able to have your fingers like that, it always happens. You know, always trying to paw at the fighter, but they're trying to find their target. You know, they're trying to throw them off balance, paw, trying to see how much reach they got. You know, but yeah, it was a good fight though.
Yeah.
I had actually made a pretty bold prediction on Facebook. I had picked Stipe, but I had picked him in the third round, which if he would have kept up the pressure that the second round success had found for him, it would have happened. But I didn't think most of the people I had talked to hadn't picked a decision. Yeah. I didn't think there's any way it was going to be a decision. So I was really kind of curious about that. You know, it just shows that Stipe is able to bang for, you know, a 5-round fight. He's a championship fighter.
That's actually not a bad pick on my part though, because
so it was a good round, man. It was a good round of fights. You know, before we transition to boxing, a couple more things I wanted to say is, you know, Rosenstruck's on the hunt now for heavyweight. He'll be getting close to being a shot for the belt. Nagano and Stipe is pretty much already official. So we'll see how that plays out. Nagano kind of poked fun at Jones a little bit, saying that after he's done with Stipe, he wants to fight Jones. Jones doesn't move up to heavyweight unless it's for a belt.
He's not moving up to heavyweight unless Stipe wins that fight versus Ngannou. And
I think Ngannou would put some serious
mustard on some.
I haven't really seen much of Ngannou's training for ground game. I think if he got a little bit more wrestling in his background, he'd be even more phenomenal.
Yeah.
But Jones gets caught with one of those shots from Ngannou, it's lights out. He's the bazooka. So that's pretty much already announced, and then they're saying that you know, Jones pretty much has the only option of defending. If he wants to keep that belt, he's going to have to go after Reyes again, which that'll be very interesting because every time Jones has fought a rematch, the 2 rematches, Alexander Gustafsson and DC, he's always had a dominant performance. We'll see how that plays out. But yeah, that's really all I had for UFC. Did you have anything else for the fights?
I like I said, I only caught the main event, but I thought it was I was giving you shit last night saying it was boring. It was entertaining. I was definitely in it. I was definitely there watching, entertained. But I just like you, I was hoping for the knockout. I was hoping that, you know, I mean, after 2 fights, you kind of get the idea that maybe you might be able to, you know, not either it's either going to go the knockout route, or it's either going to go like it's going to, you know, be an even closer fight, which is kind of like the whole Canelo Triple G thing. Like, you know, some people thought Triple G won the first fight, and they fought again, and I thought Canelo won this 2 times already, and third time the Canelo's probably gonna knock him out if that fight happens. But yeah, I mean, I didn't get a chance to see the whole card, so I don't know what it was like, the whole experience for you. But I'm glad it was entertaining, and I think it was an okay hurrah for UFC for 2020. I think this is pretty much. I think that was pretty much the biggest card of the year. I mean, they're still going to do obviously Gaethje and Khabib, but I don't imagine that being a bigger card than this.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, when you've got 2 fighters that going into it, one lesser than the other, but when you got 2 fighters that it's always a possibility of retirement, it's usually going to be a bigger card on. And we still got Adesanya and Paulo Costa next month, 26th.
It's a good fight.
That'll be a good fight. And then we've also got Habib and Gaethje.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've announced one for October, November yet. I believe Gaethje and Gaethje, not Gaethje. I always put an N on it. Gaethje and Habib is October. I don't know what they have for November.
Yeah, I don't think they have anything as far as November yet. But
yeah. We'll see how it plays out. I know Dana's plate's probably got to be pretty full.
Yeah.
Put a lot of stock. That's the one last thing I'll say about O'Malley too. Is I was a fellow fan.
Let me get some more coffee. Hold up.
Yeah, no problem. I think he unfairly was put on a pedestal that he wasn't able to really control. So that was a little disheartening that he had all this hype behind him saying he's going to want to blow past McGregor and coming in. He was only a 14th ranked fighter in the bantamweight division. He was unbeaten. But it's a lot to live for, and I hope he comes back strong for the next fight. So I really hope O'Malley takes time to really rest that foot, gets that all addressed. Takes a year and a half off. He's only 25 years old, so he's very, very much in his prime. So he's definitely got enough time to take off a little bit. The hype train has stopped, but I think he can. It's not derailed. I think he can restart it once he's able to get his stuff healed up. Hope he takes this loss as a little bit of a humble pie and goes back to the gym and puts back in the work to maybe strengthen up those legs and rehabilitates that foot.
He looks like a skinny dude. He's real skinny, man.
Well, that's what's so crazy. That's the other part of the hype too. You wouldn't expect that kind of power from that kind of frame, but
yeah,
has some power. I mean, what he did to Eddie Wineland his last fight, just a walk-off knockout. I mean, it was just insane. So he's definitely got a lot to learn, especially with being careful with those kicks. You can't be throwing power shots at somebody's calf. So you got to watch out for your targets, I would have liked to have seen him throw a couple more body shots. He was piecing him up a little bit with Vera, but Vera he's a phenomenal fighter. He's a veteran. So, Vera saw the hype and he saw the fighter behind the hype and was able to shut him down and neutralize him.
Yeah.
So that's all I've got for UFC. I saw what you had for the boxing table.
Yeah, man.
You want to talk?
Boxing was interesting last night. I didn't catch the Otto fight. I wasn't. I saw them fighting, and then I realized nah, I don't like the.
There was an injury there.
What's up?
Didn't the other fighter get injured?
Yeah, something like that. Kaufman, bro.
Shoulder or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like his shoulder or something like that he injured. Yeah, so I wasn't really checking for that fight, but I'm sure Otto got the victory. I'm sure he won. And then so the fight that I did tune into on Showtime was what Rob was talking about, the Rolly Romero and the other dude Marinez. I thought I was anticipating Rolly being in good shape for the fight, and I knew he was gonna have that kind of style. Like I knew he was gonna be aggressive and look for power punches and look to knock the dude out. looked to be impressive. But really, what he did was he was just hunting him down all night, and he kind of just played into the other dude's game. Like he was getting counterpunched. He was missing. Mariñez was looking really good, man. And I had Mariñez winning the fight dominantly. Like and when the time the scorecards came around, the 12-round fight. By the time scorecards came around, I was thinking like, okay, obviously like Mariñez is going to win the fight, but like it's a Mayweather card, right? So like, are they going to really allow their fighter to lose? So I was about to go to the kitchen and make some popcorn or something, and I was like, but wait, let me just watch I should be hearing what I think is right, but like so and then they announced Rolly wins the fight, and I was like, that's a fucking robbery. It's actually like a high key robbery, and then you could hear the commentators were like, yeah, we're just as confused as everybody else, and like, they're like. It was there's no way, like somebody had it 118 110 and it was like that, like obviously you had that filled out before you even came to the arena, so like it was suspect, and it kind of like left a bad taste in my mouth for kind of like the rest of the night for boxing. And the fact that like Rolly after the fight was like, he was almost like lying to himself, like trying to convince himself that he won the fight and like trying to convince other people, but like you obviously were like, I don't know, kind of disgusting. But anyway, main event, I even didn't really watch Benavidez because I don't know, man.
Title's not on the line anymore.
Title's on the line anymore, dude. Like he didn't look like he wanted to be there. Didn't look happy. He didn't look, and
Power though.
Yeah, I no after fight dap either. Everyone involved everyone involved knew. Oh yeah. There's no fight. Everyone involved knew, bro. Probably. I mean, but who knows?
Didn't they miss the fist bump? Was that the fight? You watched they missed the fist bump that they maybe that's not the fight I'm thinking of. They go for the fist bump and it just misses.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
I didn't see that.
It was on that Showtime. I think it was on the highlight of the Showtime fight. Yeah, so you just kind of missed. I don't think it was intentional.
Yeah, no, I doubt it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's not Showtime's fault, obviously, but I was just kind of turned off. So I turned off Showtime, put on DAZN, just in time for the girl Jessica to walk into the arena, and I was hyped, man. And after the first round, I knew she was doing some really good work from the first round, like landing clean punches. She was getting in on her. Cecilia was not moving the way she should have moved, not keeping distance the way she should have.
Right.
And from that very first round, I knew Jessica can do this all night. Like Jessica can do this all night. She's probably been training 3-minute rounds, and women's boxing is 2-minute rounds, right? So 2-minute rounds, 10 rounds,
right?
Yeah, 10 rounds, 10 rounds, 2 minutes. Jessica, she can do this all night,
right.
And she did. She slowed down a little bit in the second half, a little bit, but I still thought she clearly won the fight. And unfortunately that one came out good. That one, the judges got that one pretty much spot on. Jessica is the undisputed world champ. And that's fucking tight, man. That's really, really cool. Hometown hero, man. Hometown world champ. Yeah, for real. Especially for you, man. You actually live in Belleville.
Well, it's really cool too because I checked out their Instagram pages.
Oh,
and you can just see the big leap between what's the girl that she fought? What's her name?
Cecilia?
Bacchus or something?
Right, yeah, Breckus. Yeah, Breckus.
She's got like 90-something K on Instagram, and then Jessica got 13 grand.
Yeah.
And, wow, that's such a big leap, that she's making now. But yeah, I became a fan, man. Her cardio was insane.
Yeah.
Going at the pressure.
A lot of pressure.
Cut you off. A quick little note I wanted to say. The highlights didn't really do it justice, I don't think.
Yeah.
Because the commentators a couple times were saying that it was kind of evened up, but from what I saw, McCaskill got that. I mean, just dominant performance, using her reach. When for some reason I don't know why, when they're clinched up, I didn't see any uppercuts from Brackus.
Yeah.
So I would have thought that she would have kind of tried to exploit that a little bit because it looked like McCaskill was a little bit open on those clinches.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it was a great fight. I became a gigantic fan just watching her work.
Of her, man. Yeah, I like her style a lot. You know, she's not there to try and dance around and fuck around in there. She's trying to fight. She's trying to get in on you. My stepdad Eric texted me last night, and he was thinking Cecilia was going to win that fight, and he was like, he'd let me know, oh, like, you know, she's coming out now, and I was like, yeah, watch. What's her name? Jessica's literally about to go to work on this girl.
Yeah.
I was like, I knew it. And after the fight, I texted him. I was like, I knew it. I knew she could do it. Like,
yeah.
And the commentators were ridiculous, man. They were saying some stupid shit. Like after the fight, like before they announced the decision, they didn't want to say that what they really thought, just in case that the decision went to Cecilia on some bullshit. So that, you know what I mean? Like they didn't want to look like idiots saying that like they think Jessica won and then like Cecilia won somehow.
Right.
It's, you know, that's how boxing be sometimes. But yeah, you got to know what you're looking at. Commentators do a fucking better job, man. Especially on this zone, man. They're fucking trash.
Yeah, they have had some. That's the one thing I will say about UFC that they're pretty locked in on. Their commentator.
Yeah.
I mean, last night was Dominic Cruz, Rogan, and John Anik. John Anik, that's his name. Oh. You know, and they do it a lot more than I noticed boxing will. They won't say, hey, this is who won the fight, but they'll, I mean, hey, going into this last one, you got to think it's Stipe, right? Or going into this last round, it's got to be, you know, so and so unofficially. So I mean, you got to have commentators that speak a little bit of flavor into the fight, you know, with commentating,
right?
Share a little bit of their personal opinion. But yeah, I like that video you sent me too of Caskill meeting with her in the locker room.
Yeah, you saw that?
Duration, man. So much between the two. You know, it was a good fight, you know, and this is huge for McCaskill, man. This is that's a awesome accolade.
That's a dream. That's a dream for somebody. Yeah. People grow up their whole lives like, I want to be a world champion. I want to win one world title. She now has like 4 at least, like 6. Like she's like 6, and she's been in 10 fights. Like
that's
awesome. Yeah.
Is her fights have been, I mean, not a lot, you know, compared. I think the other girl was what, 36-0.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's
30-0 or something like that. Yeah.
That leaps, because a lot of people will, you know, technical skill will get you only so far, but if you're not coming into the ring prepared to fight a world championship fighter, it doesn't matter how many wins you've got under your belt. If you're not experienced with that, because it's a different fight, you can see some 32-year-olds fighting that have had, you know, 8-9 wins, you know, but they don't look nearly the same caliber as they would if they're fighting a world championship.
Yeah. And you know what it is, man? You know what it is I think Cecilia is 38 years old. I think she's a little older than Jessica, who is 35.
Right.
But the difference there was that Jessica didn't have she doesn't have the wear and tear on her body that Cecilia has taken throughout her entire life. Even though they're both up there in age, Cecilia has been slowed down. She had been slowed down by her previous opponents from years, constantly wear and tear in the gym, constantly in fights. She's been in 3 times number of fights that Jessica's been in. That's going to weigh you down. So Jessica, I think, was just like, her body physically was in a better position to fight her fight and really take it to her and catch the dub. So man, I messaged her last night, and she saw it this morning. She gave me a little heart on Instagram.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. She be like, give me a little heart on Instagram. So yeah. So I messaged her. I messaged her coach. I messaged her sparring partners. Just
Rick Ramos, right?
Yeah, Rick Ramos is her coach, her manager. So I messaged all those guys, and I just told them how happy I am that they won, and I can't wait for them to come back to the city with those belts, because I will be stopping by in the gym to to tell them congrats in person, and I want to see those belts with my own eyes. So,
out of Chicago.
What's up?
Do they train out of Chicago?
Yes,
What's
sir.
their that is Chicago? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I was gonna say he's been in it a while, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's yeah. Rick Ramos is he owns Body Shop Boxing Club in Chicago. He's also a stock. He works at the Chicago Board of Options and Exchange or whatever. So CBOE Options Exchange. Yeah, he works at the he's like a finance guy.
Big bank.
Also, yeah, he makes. And I don't know if he makes money like that, but he works hard. So for me personally, he's an inspiration, man. He's a I mean, he's into boxing is his inspiration, but he also has other things that, he has to take care of, like his family, because he goes to a day job, then he's at the gym. And so, yeah, man, it's important for me to tell them just how much they inspire me, because, I need them to keep going. I need them to keep working hard for Chicago. So yeah, man.
Yeah. And it may seem insignificant what you sent to her, but I guarantee you, because she's not a Floyd Mayweather or somebody that's got millions upon millions of followers, she's getting famous now.
Yeah.
But dude, that message made an impact.
She definitely is getting a lot of attention right now.
Yeah, and especially seeing that, and having somebody congratulate you for it, it just makes that hard work even pay off even better. Because it's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work to go through that training camp, deal with all the adversity, especially with right now what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a fighter last night on the UFC card that had gone through like 3 different coaches because everything had closed down. So when you have a bond with somebody that you're training with and boxing with, and then, in this case, she won, which is awesome. But if the tables had been turned and she had put in all the work and lost, like, shit, you're going all the way back down the totem pole. So, yeah, it was awesome seeing her fight. I mean, it was the highlights I saw, great boxing, quick but disciplined. She fought the fight that she wanted to fight, dominant, was pushing the action. It was terrific. I mean, it was a fight. Definitely, I said I saw the highlights. I'm going to try to catch it a little bit more. Now, my question for you is all women fights only 10 rounds? Is there a reason it's only 10 and not 12? Is it just how it's... I was asking for the 10.
Yeah, I heard you. You kind of broke up there for a second, but I got you. Yeah, I thought that was a little I thought it was strange, just the fact that it wasn't 12 rounds. I don't know, to be honest. I think that is just women's boxing, the 12 rounds, 2-minute 12 rounds. But I think, dude, if they would have let Jessica go 3-minute rounds, she would have probably got the stoppage. And, I think she probably could have done a little. I think it would have benefited her. You know what I mean? I think it can benefit some female fighters to let them go 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So because you don't have the what's the word I'm looking for? The rhythm. When you separate them every 2 minutes, you fuck up the rhythm.
Yep.
When you let them go for 3 minutes, you give them an extra 60 seconds to get however many body shots in. You know what I'm saying? Like you get to do a little more damage just in that last round, so that and that residual like damage over the the 60 seconds over 10 rounds, that will add up.
Yeah.
So I would like to see them go a little longer, but entertaining nonetheless, man. I think they do it because it's women's too.
Yeah,
guys,
and that would make sense. One, it's also the fact is, it gives her more time to be explosive, but it's also like I didn't really see Brackus get really rocked. The highlights I saw, maybe there's something I had missed, but in the case that they do get rocked, that extra minute is huge, especially when you're going round to round with the
exactly.
I mean, you saw it with Cormier last night, like him going in the second round to third round, though he wasn't 100%, those seconds add up for you to be stabilized again. When you get rocked and you're out of it and you don't know what's going on, and then you finally get that little 20, 30-second transition.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's important. So that extra minute per round would have been able for her to capitalize, for her not having the belt to be saved by, for her not having her ref and her cornermen and cutmen talking with her and telling her, hey, you need to go back in and just get the clinch immediately, try to get out of harm's way for a little bit. When you don't have that time for that, you're in a lot more danger, and your opponent can capitalize on it. It's not a lot of time between rounds. It's not a big transition time, but it's vital.
It's necessary for sure. Yeah.
30 is it 30 seconds? I think UFC is 30 seconds.
And is it really? I
think
thought I'm pretty sure it's a minute in both. Yeah.
It might be a minute. Maybe it just seems to go by a little bit.
It seems to go by fast. Yeah.
It might be a minute, which a minute that's huge.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah, it was a great round of fights last night, man.
Glad you caught him, buddy. I'm glad you enjoyed the UFC last night.
Yeah.
With your dad?
Yeah, we watched it. We got a couple beers and relaxed. Kind of found a choppy stream.
Yeah.
That's what I had to do, man. I had to keep the fights going on my phone.
Yeah.
On my laptop, it was a little scary.
Yeah, just let me know, man. I got plenty of streams. I got all the streams.
I was using crack, man. It was
the crack streams
last night. But
I wonder why you're having issues, because I was also on crack streams.
Perfect. For some reason, and it might even be my HDMI cord from my laptop to my TV. It's choppy.
Huh.
It's not bad per se, but it's a little bit choppy. I mean, they'll talk, and the words will not match up with the mouth at all. So,
that's weird. Yeah, I wonder if it's your cord.
Yeah, it might be, but no. I mean, it went pretty flawless, man. I was able to catch the majority of the fights, and I think that we've got a good second half of the year coming up with these fights.
Let's hope so, man. Let's hope so. I mean, they're struggling right now, but we got something, so we got a good weekend. I've been looking forward to it.
Definitely. Well, I think that wraps it up with us.
Yeah, man. Well, how are you? How are you feeling? How are you feeling today?
I'm good, man.
What you got planned?
I feel better than last weekend, so that's good.
What you got planned today?
Last weekend, man, I was clutching onto my bed.
Bro.
But I'm feeling fine now. So.
Yeah, what you gonna do?
Oh, I'm gonna go out and DoorDash. Try to get some extra money in the bank, man.
Some extra cash.
Got rent due.
All right, pal.
Got the rent due. What about you, my friend? Is Robbie still there?
Yes, sir. Robbie's right here. Good stream, boys. Good fights. Rob says good stream, boys.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks.
You're very welcome.
Hey, you're welcome, bro.
All right, guys. Well, you take care. Tuning in to Blood of My Coffee.
Yeah, everybody leave a like on the video. My birthday's tomorrow, so everybody subscribe to the channel. All the fans, all the viewers, all of my fans personally, leave a comment. All of Brendan's fans, leave a like.
So that means you, Rob.
Yeah, that means you, Rob. Leave a like on the video. Leave a like. Leave a comment.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Shoot, what there? So Sundays, are we making this?
Yeah. The show, the podcast is now going to be on Sundays.
Sundays.
Time.
I said the time determined and ironed out.
Oh, okay.
Are we thinking two?
Yeah, I mean, we'll play it by ear. I as long as we're on Sunday, we're good.
That works for me.
All right, man.
It's perfect.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Tuning in.
I'll talk to you later, buddy.